According to the CDC, there are an average of 20 million Americans that are reported to have some sort of physical disability. Now, more likely than not, you may happen to know someone or unfortunately be someone that has a physical disability. And so my solution to this is to implement biomedical engineering. And so with it, I actually have sources that come straight from a scholarly peer-reviewed journal, and they also come from a database known as EBSCOhost. And so today I'll be discussing the solution and the factors of biomedical engineering, such as bionic arms, 3D printing, and nanotechnology. And so one of the many implications of biomedical engineering is bionic arms. And so you might ask yourself, what is a bionic arm? And so with an article and the author known as Laura R. Ruby, and published back in 2019, we are actually given a definition of bionic arms. And with it, we actually know that it is a artificial and mechanical limb that is used to mimic and perform the same tasks as a regular limb. And so with the same article, we're actually given a diagram as to how it works. And so with the diagram, we're actually given two steps of it. And so with part A and part B, it shows that we're actually able to find a muscle group that is responsible for hands and finger movement. And so with it, in step C and D, well, first in step C, they're actually able to ask an amputee to imagine himself opening and closing his own hand. And so with it, he was actually able to do an EMG test as well, which also picked up an image or a result of someone opening and closing their own hand. And so moving on to step D, we're actually able to see that they actually had surgery of the amputee to help stabilize and handle his prosthetic arm, which then he would be later given. And so with step 2 of the bionic arm diagram, we're actually given 3 different steps for it, which in step A and B, they were actually able to transfer parts of the bicep and the tricep to the front and the back of the body. And then moving on to step C, we're actually able to be given a image of how the bionic arm will look around the person. And so we're actually able to know that the amputee was able to open and close his new bionic arm all by himself without the assistance of any other person. And so you might be asking yourself, why do I care about this? Why would I know about this? And so someone may be worried about instead of organ failure or more internal issues. And so biomedical engineering also has a solution to that as well. And with that, it also has a solution with 3D printing organs. And so with 3D printing organs, we actually also given an article with it by the name of Jinwoo Jung, which was published back in 2016. And with that same article, we're actually able to be given a new diagram of 3D printing, which is also broken down into 2 different steps. Now in the first step, we're actually able to see 3 different human body parts that are made from the 3D printed computer. And so with it, what was made were the ears, the kidneys, and the teeth. And so with it, they were actually able to use a CAD program, which is a program used by engineers to help build and produce certain items, which is also known as like a blueprint. And so with it, we're actually able to see within the diagram, step 2, which is what they actually were able to produce with the 3D printed computer. So with this, they're actually able to create their own and produce their own organs. And so say you might even not be worried about organ failure as well. As most people are worried about today are vaccines and cancers. And so with biomedical engineering also comes with a solution with that as well, which is also known as nanotechnology. So nanotechnology is a building block for biomedical engineering, which also comes with the article as well. And with the article, we actually know the author, which is Sin Yan, which was also published back in 2019. And with that third article, we actually are given a diagram of how the nanotechnology works. And we're given 2 different kinds of diagrams, but both perform the same tasks, which is the nanotechnology combines with the vaccine and combines itself to a T cell, which then goes off to denature and kill off that tumor cell, and which is also able to be shown in the second diagram as well, with the vaccines and the antibodies as well, which is then used to help the T cell kill off the tumor cell. So with this, we're actually able to be given a understanding and immunity of how nanotechnology really works. And finally, we can say that these three factors that make up biomedical engineering are altogether solutions to people. And so the solutions of biomedical engineering and the factors of it, such as 3D printing, nanotechnology, and bionic arms, are used to help end disability forever. Thank you.